Good morning, welcome to the Basic Stitch Knitting Podcast, episode 17. I am your host, Celine, coming to you from Hong Kong. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. And if you're a new viewer, thank you for giving this podcast a chance and welcome. How are you? How is your December so far? Have you been watching Vlogmas? I have been watching Vlogmas a lot and I really enjoy them. I've been enjoying watching Vlogmas of other podcasters so far, but I don't think I can do the same because for me, I like Christmas, but I like the anticipation. I like listening to music, like Christmas song, way earlier. Maybe starting from September, I might actually start to listen to Christmas song. But when it actually gets closer to Christmas, I don't really feel it. And I don't know, maybe because I'm in Hong Kong and Christmas to me is a very commercial thing. My family personally don't really celebrate it anymore. When I was a kid, maybe my parents would buy presents for me and my brother and said it's Christmas, it's Santa Claus giving to us. But we would say like, but we don't have chimney, or we saw you putting them next to us this morning, or whatever. Like trying to find the loophole of their lies. And they would say Santa Claus himself didn't really give us the presents, but he would tell my parents what to give us. I think that was actually pretty good, right? That was pretty brilliant, I think. Yeah. But you know, and when I was a kid, I really enjoyed watching the lights on the buildings in Hong Kong. It's like very beautiful. What do you call them? Like lights decor, where they have like Santa Claus and Christmas tree presents or whatever outlined using lights on the building. And it's just the most beautiful, wonderful Christmas memory for me. In short, I have been enjoying Vlogmas so far. I don't think I can do it because I work every day and there's nothing really like Christmassy at home. I don't really have a Christmas tradition. One day I might want to establish mine, or I don't know, like it's actually making an effort to celebrate. I don't mean to celebrate it in a religious manner or whatever. It's just to have something to look forward to because it's a day where it is only associated with the most wonderful, warm and cozy feelings. It just brings me back to how I just loved it since I was a kid. This year, I'm going to spend my Christmas in Thailand. I'm going to Phuket, and it will be a really hot summer. Even warmer than Hong Kong, like so much warmer than Hong Kong. I don't know what I'm thinking. Well, I wasn't actually thinking anything. It's my boyfriend's suggestion. It's Joe's suggestion. He really likes beaches. I'm not a beach person, but it's fine. I am actually thinking about doing a little bit of Vlogmas in Thailand maybe, depending on how I feel, and I don't know. I actually don't know what to expect because I've never been to a trip where it's centered around beach and yeah, I've never done anything like that, so I don't know what to expect. I'm not even sure if I'll enjoy it, but hopefully I will. And if I do like it, you'll see it. I don't know. Vlogmas maybe? So this week I have some whips for you and some FO whips, works in progress, and FO finished objects, and afterwards there will be a section of stash acquisition. It's not a very regular, I don't do stash acquisition section every day, every episode, but I do have a bit of stash acquisition for this episode because Black Friday. Yeah. So if you're interested, stay tuned. So first of all, some admin stuff. And first thing is a very important thing that is so important that I managed to neglect talking about it at all in the past few episodes. And that is the color work, basic stitch color work knit along is still going on. And it will be going on until the end of this year. I will close the thread, the FO thread, on the 1st of January 2018, and I will randomly pick a winner out of that. And so far, there have been some really, really beautiful color work project in that FO thread. So if you have been, waiting out, you have been knitting, but you haven't been actually posting anything because you were waiting for the FO thread, it's time for you to do so, in case, because I always forget to do that. Even when I really want to join it. So next, it's going to be a winner gift. It's a winner giveaway. It's a giveaway winner announcement. Last episode, I have shown to you guys this project bag, a very, very sturdy project bag with a Notion pouch inside. It is by Rosia by Lily. And the person behind this really, really well-made, handmade project bag is Monique. And she has very generously donated to this podcast this project bag. I'm so bad at this because I've never really done any real giveaway before. I'm not sure if you can tell. Anyway, so I posted it on Instagram, and you commented down below and tag your friends and follow me on Instagram, and I have randomly chosen a winner. And if your name, so drum roll, if your name is Sid Robinson, you're the winner. I'm not sure if you're actually watching this. I hope you do. And if you do, please contact me in the next few weeks, or I don't know how people usually do it. Next few weeks, is that too long? I don't know. Next few days maybe? Are you actually watching this? I'm not sure. I hope you do. So, if you see this, please contact me and I'll get your details and send this to you. And if you're not Sid Robinson, thank you so much for participation. Rosia by Lily was doing free international shipping for, I think, a month or two before. Now the free international shipping has ended, but she has proposed a really, really attractive international shipping fee as well, flat rate. This actually ships to me from New Zealand. Just check out, because they have Monique. Rosia by Lily has now is offering an even bigger project bag that you can put your sweater, or maybe 2 sweater in there, an even bigger one. And she has also offered really attractive flat rate international shipping as well. Just go to her Instagram, Rosia by Lily, and check it out. You know what? This is the first giveaway, real giveaway I've ever done. I've done pattern giveaway before, and this is not actually, I don't know how other podcasters usually do their giveaway, how they get the gift for giveaway, but this one actually very thick-skinnedly asked Rosia by Lily Monique whether I can actually have one to give away to my subscribers, because first of all, I really want to thank you for, subscribing and following this YouTube channel and, listening to me talking about my knitting. I really want to do something to show you my gratitude. And second of all, I really want, I saw her on Etsy and I was starstruck. It's so beautiful. This is the one that I got. This is my first project bag, and I want to make it extra special by making it my first giveaway, project bag giveaway as well. So I just told her whether, it's fine by her, and she agreed very generously that, she's going to give one away to my subscribers. So it's just extra special. It's not somebody say, can you give this away to promote my site? And then I'll say yes. No, I actually asked for her, permission or whatever. I asked her whether she can do it. So really, really thankful. And I also hope that you understand, I only talk a lot about this, post it on Instagram because I really love it. So yeah. And now let's move on to chatter. I don't know, like, I actually record this at the end of the podcast, but I'm definitely going to put it back to the front of the podcast episode because I don't want to keep you guys waiting, like who's going to win it. So yeah, so I'm not sure what's going to be next. Probably chattering, probably whips, I don't know. So the first whip you will have seen, and this is it. You see that? They look so wonky, and I think this is especially wonky. Okay, this is a pair of socks for my dad, and it is knit in Lana Grossa yarn. For the name of this yarn, I'll probably put it in my project page on Ravelry. I don't actually remember, and I don't have the ball band with me right now. It's a gift from Valerie, who is the owner, the dyer behind Joyance Fiber Art. And this is a little bit awkward. I should finish this row before showing you, but I was at my friend's admission party just now, and I was knitting a little bit, just a little bit. It has been on the needles for quite a long time. I mean, most podcasts that I watch, people just churn out every, like, you know, a pair of socks every episode, but I don't know. For me, when I started to knit again, socks knitting is probably one of my main thing, but now I just don't do it a lot. I am more like a garment knitter right now. Can I say that? Not really. I have only knit like 3 garments so far. But yeah, I'm more interested in knitting other things. I mean, cause for socks, I don't need patterned socks. I only knit like simple vanilla socks, and I don't think there's much to say. Like, I mean, if you're interested in how I knit this pair of socks, you can ask, but I actually knit them the same way, and I've gone at length talking about how I knit my socks earlier, so you can go back to some back episodes if you're interested. I'll probably bring another pair of socks when I travel in Thailand, I believe, because it's just a really good travel project, right? So that is my first whip. My second whip is something that I really, really enjoy, but I have to put this down for a bit. And this is called Trophy Shawl, and it is designed by Irina. I should definitely ask her. Like, the first time I talked to her, I was like, is it Irina or is it Irina? And she never corrected me. So, and her name is Irina P2TOG, like Pearl 2 together. I'm going to put her name and also the Ravelry page for this pattern in the down bar or in the show notes. And oh, I've been showing you the wrong side. So this is a shawl with a right side and the wrong side, but the wrong side doesn't look terrible either, but it's definitely a yarn that is like with a right side. And this is how it looks. Look at it. I've done 2.5 repeats so far, and here it's just a lot of like yummy girder stitch. And here, this is a fun detail. Yeah. It's going to be a diamond, I think. So I'm knitting this. The pattern calls for a chunky weight yarn, I think. I don't remember the yarn that it's called for. I actually really want to try the yarn that is called for in the pattern, but the shipping fee is a little bit unattractive if I were to buy it from Hong Kong. I mean, the price for the yarn itself, I find it very, very reasonable. It's just a shipping fee. So I try to do something else, and this is drops charisma held together. It's like a bluish gray color. I don't know, I just want to show you how chunky it is, and can you see it's like two strands held together, and very, very squishy. So far I've been enjoying this a lot, but I have to put this down a little bit. Backstory. I actually offered to test knit this, but it took me forever to actually find like the correct yarn or the correct needle to match the gauge, because I've never really knit anything this bulky, and I don't have any like bulky weight, like bigger needles. I actually had to buy everything online just for the test knit, and I don't really knit that quickly, so the pattern is out. The pattern is out already, so I just treat this as my whip, and I'm knitting it leisurely. I felt a little bit sorry, but Arina was like, don't worry about it. It is charisma held two together, and the reason why I had to put it down now, because I only have this much left now. So I need to buy more online before I can continue to knit this. The reason why I am at a shortage of this yarn is because I don't know what I was doing. In my mind, I was thinking I'm going to hold one strand of charisma and probably one strand of Nepal together, because I have the Nepal at home, so I just need to buy like equal amount of charisma. But when the yarn arrived, I don't know, I just wasn't thinking. I was like, okay, let me test the gauge for, you know, when you're holding two strands of charisma together, like drops charisma. And it kinda reached the gauge, but not exactly. But I was like too lazy to knit another gauge, so gauge swatch. So I just used charisma without remembering that I don't actually have enough yarn if I hold two strands of charisma together. I'm not sure if that makes sense to you. Anyway, it's like a brain fog or whatever. So I don't have enough yarn, and I'm going to wait for my next parcel to come before I can continue to knit this. And that is my second whip. It is called Trophy Shawl. Totally love it. I just really want to have a really squishy shawl with something going on, like the kind of cabling going on, but I don't need to use any cable needle. It's like a twisted stitch pattern. And then at the same time, I want a lot of squishy garter stitch like this. So yes, this is going to be massive, I believe, because this is not even a half of the shawl. My third whip, I actually have the pattern with me, and it's a free pattern, but it's a bit battered because I've been bringing this everywhere. This is called Oak Leaf, designed by Sandy Peters. And it uses this technique called stacked decreases. Yeah. And it has a video online as well. And I think it calls for worsted weight yarn and 6mm needles, or one size up from size on label. So I actually knit it with DK weight yarn, because when I measure the size of the leaf, it's supposed to be approximately 15 centimeter wide and 10 centimeter long, which I don't know. It's a bit huge to me, I think. So I just use DK weight yarn And to be accurate, I use my Lima yarn, and oh, this is a Lima. This is West Yorkshire Spinner DK weight. So this is how big it, excuse me. So this is how big it is now. I use DK weight yarn, and I use the needle size that is one size bigger, or you know, approximately one size bigger than the one suggested on the ball band. And is this the first thing? No, this is the first one that I knit. I only knit this in blue because I didn't have any color with me. Like, I didn't have any other yarn with me. This is the yarn, leftover yarn from my Marius sweater. So this one is the one that I have properly weaved in, or woven in. I never got this correct. The waist yarn, but I didn't block it. I'm not sure if I will ever block it though. I mean, it's okay. Okay, yeah, maybe I should block it. This looks a little bit like something else. You know, it just doesn't look like oak leaf. And, well, it's blue. Anyway, I had two. Once you learn how to do the stacked decrease, it's actually very, very easy and very, you know, like cute ornament to make. Okay, I'm pretty sure I'll block it. This looks like a dead lizard to me now. And then the third one is definitely very, very autumnal. This is from West Yorkshire Spinner. The colorway is, I don't remember, but you know, it's the West Yorkshire Spinner mustard, and it's probably one of my favorite mustard color. This is actually a really, really good stash buster. I had, like, you know, a small ball of West Yorkshire Spinner yarn left, so I just knit this one and I cast on this one, but I really don't have any of it left, so I basically just felt it together with my Lima red. Kind of look good, right? I don't know. I actually don't know how it will turn out to be. I don't know which part constitute like, I don't know what this constitute, the cast on stitches constitute in this leaf. I'm not sure if that sentence makes sense, but whatever, you know what I mean. Anyway, after knitting this, I will know. It's actually fun to change color because you will see what you're doing. Yeah. Okay, that's my width. And what I'm planning to do, I know you're like thinking, what are you doing? Like, why do you knit oak leaves? So what I was thinking is, if this is going to be really big, it can be a coaster. You know, who said coaster have to be squares or like rounded or whatever? It can be of a shape of oak leaf, you know. It insulates well and it lifts the cup so that it doesn't burn your tabletop. If it's bigger, you can totally use it as coaster. Well, even in this size, I think you can use it as coaster, like this. Yeah, I think it will work well. Oh, that's actually extremely cute. Okay, so cute. Alternatively, I was thinking I could, you know, after weaving in the ends, of course, I could make a loop, not sure how, like this. I don't know, I can just pull a string and make it like an ornament where they're like, you know, dangling leaves, like this. Pretty cute. I really, really enjoy making this, and I want to make even more. So if you have like a little bit of leftover DK weight, worsted weight, or even fingering, you know, just make smaller or bigger oak leaves, I think this is a really good idea. I really like them. They're really cute. So again, the pattern is called Oak Leaf, and it is designed by Sandy Peter. This is Sandy Peter. The Xandy. Okay, it's a free pattern on Ravelry. So that is I lost count, my third whip. And my fourth whip, I could have finished it already, but for some reason I just wasn't, probably because I was like, small amount of stitches on needles again. Where is it? Let me look for it. So it's here. Oh, it's looking really cute. And I'm having a stitch marker here to mark like the beginning of the row or whatever, but I don't actually need to do it because I know I need to knit something here. It is a chicken, or a hen actually. The pattern is called 3 French Hens by Susan B. Anderson. I have been eyeing on this pattern for a long time. I mentioned this pattern a long time ago in this podcast. And now the pattern is actually available, so I bought it. And here I will need to, the head part is on waste yarn, and I will need the head and the crown, and that's it. One thing I don't know how to do is in the pattern, this part doesn't look so dominant. Like, it should be flat like this. And whether it is flat, I think probably depends on how you stuff the stuffing, like these things. I use the micro whatever that I bought on Deramores or Wool Warehouse that you use to stuff things. Of course, you can use like waste yarn, like a bit of these, or the waste yarn you have after making a pom-pom or whatever to stuff it. I use these micro, I don't know, anyway. So my problem is it doesn't lay flat, it just go up, and sometimes it might even look like this, which is ridiculous. Anyway, so this is the color work. I didn't block it. I don't really intend to block it, but yeah, the yarn I use is the white yarn is Cascade 220 fingering weight yarn, and the green and this hot pink is from Briar Patch yarn 4-ply. I don't really have the ball band with me right now, but I've shown them before. Sorry, because I just brought these from my boyfriend's place to my home yesterday, and I try not to bring everything over. The problem with it is I raved about this yarn before, about how it feels so rustic and it's woolen spun. I'm not sure if you can see like the kind of hair. Can you see it? Or is it too close? Is it focusing? Can you see like how it's not like worsted spun? There is like some fluff here. Actually, yeah, this one. It's best here. And it's very loosely twisted, loosely plied. It looks exactly like my other yarn, like very toothy yarn for color work, but it is actually treated in a way where you can wash it in washing machine without felting it. So I'm not sure. It's not exactly super wash though, and there's no coating, like no plastic coating on it. It looks rustic, but it doesn't felt. The problem with it is when I knit the toy, there are parts where I feel like I should tug it harder. And the problem is this yarn breaks really easily. I'm not sure if I can break it now. It breaks really, really easily, but I can't felt them back. I was like trying to, I don't know, it breaks so easily, and my instinct just told me, usually when a yarn breaks easily, you can easily felt it back. Like, say for example, Let Lopi yarn, it breaks so easily, but you can felt them back, like, just like that. I just tried to felt it now in front of you because my hand is clammy, gross, but yes. And then, whoops, it came back out. So, that's a little bit difficult. So it means I have to, like, leave a lot of ends and, I don't know. if you're knitting something like a shawl where you don't need to like yank the yarn really hard, it probably doesn't matter, and you can have that really rustic feeling without having, without worrying that it will felt easily. This is the yarn to go to. But if it's a project where you need to yank it harder sometimes, I don't think this is what you should go for. So that's it. That is all my WIP. And it's time for some finished object. So I think I only have one finished object. Oh, what a shame. Really? Okay, yeah. So my finished object, as I promised, this is my finished object. And it's my sweater. Sorry, I'm having this. This is what I hug when I sleep. I feel like this is a very Asian thing, because like all my life I've always have something like this. When I was smaller, it was smaller. When I'm older, it's bigger. And now this is the size. And because I haven't been podcasting for a long time, I feel like I need to hold on to something to know what to say. So yeah. And the reason why I said this is a very Asian thing is because I don't think any other, I don't know, like my boyfriend has never seen it, like, and I don't actually have a name for it. I just call it a hugging pillow, because that's literally what it's called in Chinese, like lam, like a hugging pillow. So I'm holding my hugging pillow talking to you, and this is my Marius sweater, finished Marius sweater, and the stitch marker there is just to remind me that it's the back side of the sweater. It's looking a little bit weird, right? And short. To be honest, if you just look at the length of the sweater, it's not particularly short, but because it has a really low armpit line here, like arm line, I don't know what it's called, it looks short. And can you see it feels a little bit weird, like it cinched in a little bit here. I haven't blocked it. I will block it after recording this podcast, I promise. Okay. I probably should wear it and let you see how it looks. Some of you, one of you actually told me the other day that you knit a sweater out of drops lima. This is all drops lima. And then she went to the wood thinking it would be warm enough for her, but turned out it wasn't that warm. And when I wore this one the other day, I felt like it's not extremely warm either. Like, it keeps me warm, definitely, especially when I'm indoor, but if there's like wind or whatever, it surprisingly is not that warm. So let me take this away. Okay. So you can see it feels a little bit bulky here. Not sure what I can do about it. And then the sleeves, when I wore it, I'm like, there's something wrong about this, and I can't tell what's wrong about this. So I asked my boyfriend, and he said the sleeve's a little bit too big. But to be honest, it's not that bad, right? Not that big. I don't know. It's too long here. If it's a little bit shorter, it might be better, but I think I create this length by doing the short rows when I was trying to kind of like push higher the back so that this the front of the neckline goes down to make it more like a crew neck rather than just like, suffocating myself or make this part really itchy. But maybe it's a little bit too many rows of short rows, which makes this part a little bit chunky and long. And then the sleeves are really long. I didn't really have a lot of control when it comes to the length of the sleeves because I knit the sleeves first and then I joined the sleeves to the body part, like the provisional cast on, and then knit this part up. And when I knit the sleeves, I had no idea how long this part's gonna be, like how long this part is going to be. So turn out it's a little bit long. Not sure if you can see. And Very, very bulky. Oh, this looks so weird. I actually hope it will, I don't know, it looks like my body is not connected or whatever. Ooh. Like I'm a marionette. I don't know. But if I fold this up a little bit, like what people did back in the 90s, or what Ron Weasley did when he had his hand-me-down from his brother. I mean, when I kind of fold this back like this, it doesn't, I don't know, it looks better. You know, shorten the length of the, kind of looks better. Not sure. I just hope it will look better after blocking by some sort of blocking magic. And even if it keeps looking weird, it's okay. I mean, it looks like just a nerdy 90s kid, right? I don't want to call it like an ugly Christmas sweater, but it has that potential. So this is it. This is my only FO, although I haven't been recording at all. I must have finished loads of things, but that's not the case. I'm going to wear this until I feel that it's too warm. I'm not even sure if that's a good idea because it really, really doesn't look flattering on me right now. Like, what is that thing on my shoulder right now? I'm looking in the viewfinder. Like, what is this? It makes me look like I'm one of those, like, ice hockey people. Whatever. So, yes, this is my only whip. And now it's time for some stash acquisition. So, Countess Ablaze was doing free international shipping a little bit before Black Friday. So I was like, I have always wanted to buy something from Countess Ablaze because I've been to the Countess shop in Manchester City, the northern quarter, and I touched some of her yarns, and I particularly love the yarn base that's called the English Gentleman. I didn't buy any when I was in her shop because I didn't see any color that I was really attracted to. That was the main reason, basically. But at the same time, I was trying to save up on the tax, you know, because if I buy it from Hong Kong, I don't have to pay the VAT. So I was like, okay, I can always buy it from Hong Kong. But now she's doing free international shipping. I'm actually saving a lot by buying it from Hong Kong. But the exact yarn that I really want to buy is this English Gentleman fingering in the original color, which is in gray, because like I love gray. I like things that's like very muted, and then it's my favorite base. That would be perfect. But this time around, when she was doing free international shipping, that was not online, that wasn't, you know, available. So this is what I got for Gentleman fingering, and this is called Vultures OOAK. What's OOAK? I know OOAK means like it's something that, you know, you only dye it once and it's not repeatable. I never remember. Like, I knew what it was, but I never remember what it is. So this one, it feels really, really soft. Like, I tried putting it near my neck. It's totally soft enough for my neck. I think it's a Blue-Faced Laster, because Blue-Faced Laster is quite soft. And Massum is not. It's more like a luster than, you know, wool. But it's not scratchy at all, but it looks rustic. It's not scratchy at all. I think it looks better. Doop, doop, doop. Okay, focusing. Alright, can you see? So there's like some pink and orange and, you know, blue here. I just said I like muted color, but, you know, like, when I can't get muted color, I went crazy. I don't know, I just buy one skein of this, and I think it will be good for a hat or shawl or whatever. Not shawl, like a cowl. And the next one that I got is this one. It's called It's Better If You Don't. OOAK again. It's English gentleman as well. And this is like a brown, bronzy color. You know, dark brown with some like greenish bronze color here. Yeah, this is like not exactly what I was thinking when I bought it online, because I am not a fan for brown yarn. And then, okay, I'm gonna show you this one. This is Industrial, the color. It's gray with a little bit of greenish yellow. I'm not sure if this is picking up well enough. Can you see it? Yeah. It's not focusing, is it? Alright. It is called Industrial, the colorway, and the base is Lord of Silk DK. 75% Falkland Merino and 25% Mulberry Silk. It's super wash, I think. Is it super wash? No, this is not super wash. Alright. So this is definitely soft. Merino plus silk. It's definitely very, very soft. I'm going to take this off because it really, really doesn't look flattering on me right now. I don't know why I'm recording this like in this. Eep. Okay, there you go. So that was my third. 1, 2, 3. And then my fourth is this one. This one is called Moldy Peaches OOAK. I don't know what it is about me. Like, I chose all the OOAK. And this is blue-faced barren fingering, and it's 100% superwash blue-faced blaster. Fingering weight, and you know, it has like some red and purple, lavender. It's really, really pretty. You know, when I buy a single skein of things and I don't know what I'm going to use it for, I'm going to say it's going to be a hat or a cowl. Because this is fingering, but I don't really see it in a shawl. Do you see it in a shawl? If you see it in a shawl, can you tell me, like, you know, maybe you see it in a specific design? If you do see it in anything, please let me know, okay? I need suggestions. And I actually had a blind test for my brother yesterday. I was like, close your eyes and touch these yarns and tell me which ones are softer. Like, and this one, beyond comparison, is the hardest, like roughest. It's extremely rough. It feels even rougher and more rustic-y and more like scratchier than my Ask yarn, like Hifa and Embla yarn. It actually, though, looks exactly like Hifa yarn. Not sure if you can see. Oh my god, this is the greenest it has ever been in my life. Because online, it is super green. Okay, well, this yarn is called Persia Blue, and the base is the Haberdine Night. It's 100% black Haberdine wool, light fingering weight. So the wool is naturally black. And what Countess Ablaze was doing is dyeing black yarn. So you probably understand how difficult it is to actually have the color to show up. But I was silly. I thought it's going to look really blue or whatever. I don't know what happened to my brain. When I received it, I was like, what? This is black. Why did I buy black yarn? You know, because, you know, they're not exactly the cheapest yarn. So why did I buy black yarn? I don't know. Because I was having blue in my mind. But here it actually looks kind of blue, right? To be fair. Oh, yeah. Okay. It feels like, can you see how, can you hear it? Super extremely woolen spun, extremely toothy. Have you ever knit with Haberdine wool? I've never. So okay, this is what I got, and I also got this one. This is Countess Ablaze pouch, but I don't actually use it as a knitting bag. It's like a very flat bag. I don't really use it as a knitting bag, and instead I use it, you know, I never knew I needed it until I had it. Basically, I put my stuff, like my wallet and some pens. Don't know, some cards that people gave me because I visited a bookshop. Eye drops and hair shampoo. I only had a little bit left. I only have a little bit left. You know, like small things that always got lost in your bag. So what I did is I put this in my handbag. It's like a mini organizer, but it's like a very, very low-key, subtle organizer. It doesn't have like pockets here and there. I put it in my bag, and it just makes my life so much easier. Like the other day, my boyfriend was helping me. I was asking him to help me get something out of my bag, and I told him it's in my Countess of Blaze bag, and he said like, it feels so good to be able to actually find something in your bag. And then for lunchtime, I would put my phone and my wallet and just go out for lunch. Super, super useful. So all I want to say about Countess of Blaze is, well, I have several things to say. First of all, I like their customer service. I'm really, really satisfied with their customer service. Second of all, I like Countess of Blaze because they have, when I say Countess of Blaze now, I mean the brand, not just the Countess herself. They have a lot of different bases you can choose from, and then, you know, they tell you where they got their yarn from, as in, you know, if it's merino, where do they get the merino? If it's Haberdine, where do they get the Haberdine? And a lot of them are actually British wool, so if you're into British wool and you want to support those like breeds like Blue-Faced, Leicester, Massam, Haberdine, you know, I think this is a brand you can go to. They have like non-superwash as well. They have really, really soft yarn and like really, really rustic yarn. I'm not sure this is what they will always have on their website though, because it's like something that they're experimenting on. Anyway, so it's like what I call non-boring yarn. A lot of different yarn, rustic, and you know, if you're looking for rustic yarn that is hand-dyed, you know, have some artistic touch to it, I think Countess of Blaze is the brand you can go to. Right, so my next acquisition will be Cascade 220. I was like buying a lot of different things, but I talk about Cascade 220 because this is the first time I actually have it. It's called Cascade 220 Heathers. It's 100% Peruvian wool, and I have, of course, a sweater quantity of it. Okay, this is not even all of it. I have this one, and I have skeined up one skein of this. This is going to be a cardigan, and it's not going to be a cardigan for myself, it's going to be a cardigan for my aunt. And the reason is because the other day I was talking to her over the phone. I grew up with her, and my brother and I grew up with her, my uncle and my cousins, and I asked her like, what do you want me to knit for you? She said, I don't want a hat, because I knit her a hat before and it was like super small, and she said, I don't want a hat. I'm like, you know what, I have improved a lot and my hats are not that small anymore. And she said, I want a cardigan or a sweater. So I decided it's time for me to knit her a cardigan, because I've knit myself like 3 sweaters, and I feel like, you know, when I first started to learn how to knit when I was like 12 or 11, she asked me to knit her a cardigan or a sweater. And I was like, what? But now I'm actually able to do it, and she's still asking me to knit her one, so I'm definitely going to knit it for her. And I'm going to knit her from a free pattern from Tin Can Knits, which is called Harvest. And this is my next stash acquisition. So this is Holst Garn. Garn means yarn in Swedish. And it's they actually smell kind of sheepy when I first opened the parcel, like. So I felt like the person who packed this totally could feel the satisfaction because it just fits right in there, you know. If I order one extra skein of this, it won't look that good, you know, like here. I don't know how the person would do it. If I'm ever going to buy from Host again, I'm going to make sure it's like the multiple of 5. And this one is, what's it called? It's Holst Garn Highland, 80% superwash Highland wool and 20% nylon. And I only bought it because it's quite cheap as well, and I wanted to see how it actually feels like, because if it actually feels good, I could buy more from them. But to be honest, I'm not sure how you see the color right now, but to me, it looks pretty ugly. Anyway, I bought quite a lot of colors. I'm not sure if I should go through the color one by one, but I don't think you will be interested. But I should just open one of it to kind of let you see, you know, how I feel about the yarn. I've never touched it before. Okay. I don't know, I mean, if you've never knit with like rustic yarn, it might actually look rustic to you. I mean, it is rustic. It's woolen spun. It is very, very lightly plied. And this is called Sweet Pea. A little bit slightly out of my comfort zone, but not far off. And I just feel like I want to knit something in pink. And it's like a really, really, really pretty pink. And this one is Damask. Compared to this, like, they might actually look good in color work. I actually buy like 5 skeins of this, which will be enough if I'm going to knit a sweater. And then I said I'm not going to show you the color, but this is what I'm doing now. But okay, I'll stop soon. Just show you a little bit what I've been buying. And this one is Moorland. Greenish color. Okay, so smells nice. Ah, super shippy here. I mean, it's not shippy here, but super shippy here. Oh, I mean, okay, if you have actually smelled a sheep before, they don't smell like flowers or a magnolia or fruits, you know, they don't smell like that. They smell like, I don't know, poop maybe. But you know, the kind of feeling like, oh my god, it smells so bad, but at the same time you kind of want to sniff it. It's okay. It's okay. I have worked in a sheep farm before, so I know how it smells like, and it's not the best smell in the world, but at the same time, it just brings me back to that time when I was working in a sheep farm. Yeah. Okay. Sheepy on both ends. It just looks like I'm like smelling their butt or whatever. Okay. I'm not even sure if this is healthy for me to keep sniffing it. Luckily, and I hope I'm not jinxing this, luckily I don't really have like allergy to wool and, you know, fluffy things like this. Thank God. Okay. I'm so happy. And I actually first learned about Holst Garn when I was watching Maria from the Stitched in Sweden. She knit quite a lot of things from Holst Garn, and she was talking about how it's like very affordable. She didn't really talk about how rustic it is, I don't think, but I was like, I like the packaging, you know, I don't care about the color or whatever, I like the packaging itself. It's so tasteful and simple, and it actually kicks it up for you like perfect. But I always feel like, well, she's in Sweden, there's no way I'm going to have access to the yarn. Probably back then I was just watching without actually thinking, well, one day I could have it too. But recently I've seen that Ellie from the Scandier Knit has been talking about Holskarn quite a lot, and I checked out the website, and you know, it's pretty good. Like, the shipping isn't terrible. It's definitely some yarn that is accessible to me. And around Black Friday, Ellie in her Instagram story was like, they're doing sales. You know what? The original price for Holskarn is not even expensive. And when they're doing sale, I was like, had to immediately go to their website and bought some. So yeah, that is it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for staying with me. Although like the uploading situation, the recording situation has been really sporadic. It almost feels like I'm quitting, right? I don't know if you were actually thinking about that. Anyway, thank you so much. And I just realized that I didn't say this at the beginning of this video. My name is Ochia, Ochya in Ravelry, and I am basic.stitch.knitting on Instagram. So if you haven't followed me, you might want to go over and follow me or friend me or whatever. Yeah, and if you're not subscribed to this channel, you might want to think about doing it and just click the subscribe button. Yeah, that's it. So thank you, and hope to see you guys again soon in Thailand. Next time would be bye bye.